Hello and welcome back to another student interview here on my channel. Today I've got Rachel with me. Really excited for this one. Rachel has been in my program for, I don't even know the number of months, but quite some time now, probably half a year. She'll give an introduction now in a minute. And she has just recently quit her full-time 9-to-5 job and gone all in on her agency. That's what we're going to probably focus on primarily in this interview. So Rachel, to you, thank you so much for coming on. And if you want to give people a little bit of a quick rundown of where you're at, obviously, like I said, you just quit the job. How is the agency going and what are the plans moving forward?
Yeah, so thanks for having me. Really appreciate it. I've been in the agency. That's why I had my hand up 5 months, cool. Going on 6 next month. And yeah, I come from a marketing background. Always been interested in digital media, social media, etc., etc. I've been watching your TikToks for about 6 months before I decided to take the leap. I look back now and I don't know what stopped me, but look, that's just the habits I have. But it's the best 5 months I ever had. I really say I've been in the program 5 months, but I've only had 3 months to really kind of focus on it, give real energy and time to it, because I had to consider I had a 9-to-5 and that had to have my main focus from my 9-to-5 every day. But I found time in between, whether it was early starts in the morning or working late at night. I got there in the end and it's gradually paying off, and it's massively paying off right now. And the best part about it is you're not on your own. You've got a great network of people who are also on the same journey as you and who are sharing the same experiences. So that's where I am right now.
Sweet. Okay, awesome. So let's get straight into some of the, I guess, just the stats right before we get into the nitty-gritty details. So you quit the job. I guess first off, why did you quit? And what made you quit? What made you make the leap? Because obviously it's a tough thing to do, to give up a safe, secure salary that you were getting. What made you make that leap?
So I've always known for years now that there's something in me that I've always wanted to do. And I knew it was to do with media or digital marketing, whether it was going to be on YouTube or social media or whatever it was. I finally found it, and it was SMMA. Now, the last few months, the drive and the graft I had to put into this, that was one reason, because it made me realize if I'm putting in this much work now and I'm getting the results I'm getting now, imagine I went in full time. I mean, it would be amazing. Other than that, it was, for instance, this week alone, I had 7 calls, and that was just mind blowing to me. And imagine I'd be able to double that if I went full time. And the return I was getting from my clients and seeing how happy they were at my service when I wasn't even all in really told me that, imagine I went all in. They imagine the gratitude I would get from them. So they were really the reasons, the drive, imagine I could go and get that full time, the gratitude I was getting from my clients and the results I was seeing. And then actually in turn, seeing those clients sign on, see money coming in, which is great. But the best time is you appreciate that money a lot more because you brought it in. That's your hard work and effort to bring that money in. At the end of the day, rather than selling for somebody else, selling for yourself actually gives you so much more joy and gratitude after the end of the day.
Love it 100%. I definitely agree with that as well. And for you then, Rachel, like obviously everything's going really well. Like how many clients do you have? And then what kind of prices do your clients pay? Are they all on one package, or do you have like different or custom packages for each client?
Yeah, so I have 7 clients at the moment. They range from, it's all organic growth strategies, so I don't do any paid advertising. I let all my clients know that that's something I don't do, and if they need it, I'll introduce them to somebody in the program. My prices range from approximately €500 up to anywhere between 750 and 800, and that then just depends on the package that they receive. The packages range from social media marketing and content creation with email marketing or website, or all those 4 together in one package. And again, that's all organic marketing. If they come to me and they say, I want to pay a paid advertising, that's something I look into regards Google or social media, and I find somebody else to team up with me and do it for me.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Cool. Same as my agency. Obviously, we don't do any paid ads. We just stick to the organic because as we like to say to our clients, if the organic isn't working, the paid definitely won't work. So we've got to fix the organic first, and then they can move on, run their paid advertising afterwards. Awesome. So I know the answer to this question, but I'm going to ask it anyway, Rachel, which is how do you book so many calls? You had 7 calls, like you said last week. What has been your main successful outreach platform, and just any tips you have around outreach in general?
Yeah, so mine is all done on LinkedIn. Now, bear in mind, before I tried LinkedIn, I did try email. I then went between email and LinkedIn, but I wasn't getting the results on email that I was getting out of LinkedIn. So I went all in on LinkedIn. And that outreach was that, I mean, look, my outreach took 3 months to finally see proper success of connections coming in, people wanting to start conversations, and also people wanting to book on calls. Now, the main reason why I'm getting results on this is because, one, I got my messaging right. I played around with my messaging for so long. And when I finally got it right, which I have now for myself, that's when I started seeing results. Secondly, was my network growth. I constantly had to be upping and improving my network growth every week. So on LinkedIn, you have 100 people you can connect with every week. I work with my VA, she connects with those 100 for me, and then I start the conversations. But something I will be doing, and I said to her actually during the week, is I will be offloading the conversation starters with you. I said, because I can't keep that on my time. I need to be focused elsewhere. So again, it's about trying to find that mix of what you need to do and what you don't need to do. So the two things I would say is that once you figure out who your niche is or how you want to find them or where they are, get your messaging right. Once you have that right and you're not just trying to sell them something, start a conversation. Once you understand who exactly your niche is and where exactly you find them, you're in. So to me, it's your message and your network. Where are you going to find them? Once you've cracked those, you're onto a winner.
Yeah, awesome. And it's an interesting one because I think LinkedIn is a lot of people use it for the agency space, but it's still not that common, I feel, compared to Instagram and cold email. So definitely huge opportunity on there. And for anybody who's in the program that I run and you're watching this video, you'll know that Rachel actually did a couple of trainings about LinkedIn in the program. And if you don't know about that, now you know, check them out. They're really good. I think one is 40 minutes and the second one is like 20-30 minutes. So really good tips there about, like you mentioned there, how to get mainly your profile set up, how to grow, how to get connections, and then what to look for in terms of the outreach side as well. So definitely do check those out. Yeah. And when it comes to sales calls, Rachel, so obviously you've got a bit of a formula, right? You got the calls coming in, you've got a consistent stream of clients now as well. What has worked well for you with sales?
Right. So for me, actually, funnily enough, I watched one sales demo you had on the program and I wrote down every single question you asked that person so that they would talk the most. And I actually used that for me to just kind of warm up into a few calls, and that signed me a few clients. And then I found my rhythm. And then I always for me, it's just let them do all the talking, because the more they talk, the more they hear themselves and they actually hear what their actual problems are. And then the more you figure out what their pains and problems are, you're able to say whether or not you're a fit and what your services are. And that's what I find is the best, is you literally ask them, is like, what you've got going on at the minute, let me know, where are you struggling? And once they kind of say that out loud, then that's where they go, well, what do you do? And you go, great, this is what I do. And that's where they hear, oh, brilliant, that's how that fixes my pain, or that's not how it fixes my pain. And for me, a sales call isn't a sales call. It's jumping on for a conversation. It's literally saying to someone, let's just have a chat. If I'm a fit, great. If I'm not, I'm going to give you some actionable advice. And you can reach me on LinkedIn going forward if you want any more questions answered, or just to kind of pop some ideas over and back, feel free to do it. But if I'm a fit, I'll always say to them, look, I might be a fit at the end of this. I'll offer you a service. If you want it, brilliant, we'll send you a proposal. You can take it on. If not, that's no problem. Just keep in touch. And that's the best part, is you're just kept top of mind. And that's what I like to do, people, is just keep top of mind until the time is right. And if it never is, then they're added to your network and they're in your network for the rest of your life, and they might benefit you in the long run, or vice versa.
Love it. Yeah, you've such a good mindset when it comes to sales. Like, a lot of people come into it thinking that they have to close every call. They got to go for the hard close. And, you know, if they don't buy on the phone, they're gone. They're never going to sign up. And like, maybe that works in certain industries. In this space, for me as well, no. Like, as in, the certain times I will push, and we'll be like, yeah, we think you should sign up for these reasons. But that's the rare occasion. That's the 5% of times we ever do that. 95% of the time, it's what you said. It's just be authentic, give the value. And if they see the value, they're either going to sign up or come back to you later on. And that's why it's so important then to follow up with the people that have booked calls with you, even if it's 1, 2, or 3 months later. In fact, we've had clients come back to us, or prospects come back to us and turn into clients like 9 months later or 10 months later after a call. So the fact that you're keeping them in your network, they're going to be like retargeted by your content continually for the next year, whether they like it or not. So I really like that. That's good stuff. Yeah. A question I wanted to dive into, Rachel, was, so with my clients, they're mainly in the US. We've got some in the UK, and we've had a handful from Ireland. Now, obviously, I'm Irish myself, right? So What made it for you? Because most of your clients are from Ireland. Was there a reason why you stuck to Irish clients? Did it just kind of happen? Because for me, I remember it was a very kind of, I think it was a conscious decision at the start where I was like, I just thought that I had to get out of Ireland. I thought I had to go
Mm.
elsewhere to get clients. But you've had great success in the Irish market. So would love to get your thoughts on that.
Yeah, so it just I think the reason I did it first was just familiarity, probably just because
Mm-hmm.
I'm Irish. I know the Irish, we know each other's humor, our
Yeah.
banter. I'll be comfortable having a chat. And I honestly think that was it. And um that's why I've started here. And I've noticed on nearly every single call I've had, it's just they're kind of more accustomed to you being Irish too and understanding them and their business or their habits. And you're like, oh, I totally get it. And that's why I've stuck with Ireland. Now I'm trying to dabble a little bit into the UK. And even this morning when I was kind of looking at my plan, I was kind of like, if I'm going to go anywhere, it'll just be Ireland and then the UK. I don't know. It's not in my near future to expand any further than that. And probably so much so is because I'm just comfortable in Ireland. Like many businesses, they're comfortable doing their sales in Ireland and their business in Ireland because they understand the market, they get the people. And that's probably just why I did it. And I have found the approach with a lot of people in Ireland is that they are just so relaxed. They can get me on WhatsApp straight away and just say, I want you to do this. I don't want you to do this. And maybe if that was another country, that the tradition might be different and it would just not be as much, it wouldn't be as easy to kind of just fall into or flow into. And that's honestly why I'm Irish, they're Irish, and I just get them. And I feel like they get me too, and we understand each other's habits. And that's literally all it was.
Oh, yeah, no, it makes sense. And like I found that same thing, not in my agency because it's mainly US and UK, but in this program, for example, most people are in this program are from Ireland. And that's again because I'm
Mm.
Irish, there's that connection, there's that familiarity. So, if
Yes.
anyone is watching this and you're from any country, really, like it doesn't matter if it's an English speaking country or not, you could be based out in India or Mexico, doesn't matter. Like you can work with your local country or you can go elsewhere. There's no rules to this game. It's completely up to you and what you find easiest. So if you would be more comfortable with like that, sticking to your home country, native language, go with that. If you feel like there's more opportunity elsewhere, well, try that as well. Give it a 50-50 approach and see which one works the best.
And
And
the best thing about SMMA, it's the same language everywhere. Social media marketing is the same language everywhere. It's like you do the same, like it's marketing as a whole. You do the same thing for everybody, but they might have a different product or different content they want to put out. It's just what kind of plan they have in their head. It's honestly going to be the same for everybody, but they just have a different product and a different way of selling it. And you just have to communicate that. And that's what's easy about it.
And I guess, going forward, Rachel, like you've gone through this huge transition with the job. So, obviously now I'd imagine it's going to be, the foot is going to hit the gas pedal, things are going to be pushing fast, you're going to be scaling fast. Do you have an end goal, like in the next year or 2 years with the agency? Do you see this becoming like a six or a multi six figure company? Or are you just trying to get this to a point where it kind of I know it's already replaced your job income, but where it gets to a
Hmm.
point where it's making, let's say, a little bit more than the job, or what's the grand vision?
Yeah, so like my other half is asking me like all the time, how many clients do you want to get to? And I've said my figure is 20. And I was like, if I could
Cool.
get to 20, I think I would relax back a little bit and go, brilliant, there's my 20. So look, we're nearly
Yeah.
halfway there. And even if I got to the 10, I'd be delighted. But to me, it's like 20 is a solid number. I think I'd chill out a little bit for there for a while. But you don't even know what the business is going to be at that time or that end. So I
Yeah.
can't even really look that far ahead because right now I need to just focus on how well I'm doing right now and how can I excel that even more. But that's the plan kind of in motion a little bit.
Sweet. Yeah, no, that's good. And it's good to have a rough plan, but not to be rigid because, life
Mm.
will change, things will come up, and you might find in 3 months' time that you might even, you might cut one of your services, you might change up the type of client you take on. So
Mm.
many things could happen. So it's good to just keep that flexibility there because this is a fast-paced environment and things do change quite quickly. So
Yeah.
cool. No, I like that. I wanted to dive a little bit deeper into I guess just the mindset around when you were in the 9 to 5
Mm.
and building the agency, because I'm sure lots of people watching this will be in 9 to 5s and they might be thinking, is it possible? Can I start an agency as a side hustle where I've got a couple clients and keep my 9 to 5 job, or is it a pipe dream? So I just wanted to dive into that, Rachel. Any kind of thoughts you have there that you want to share with people that might be in that scenario?
Yeah. So, okay. So the one thing first is your program. Brilliant. The people in it, even better. The Monday and Wednesday night calls, they're what kept me going. Talking to other people, hearing their challenges, getting the good buzz off everybody. If I didn't have those Monday or Wednesdays calls, I think I would have given up a long time ago. But having that community there is what really kept me going. Now, the one thing I think that really kept me going is as soon as I signed up to your program, I got everything done in 3 days. It was the craziest 3 days of my life, but I was like, I need to get going. And I look back now and I think, gosh, those 3 months of like outreach and testing, messaging, and trying to figure out what worked and what didn't, God, they still annoy me because I'm like, I wish I figured everything out. So if I had in my head that you're going to get this done in 2 weeks, you're going to understand everything and you're going to be smashing it by the end of your first month. And it just wasn't for me. Some people might get it in 2 weeks, some people might not. But the reason it wasn't for me is because, like you said, I had a full-time 9 to 5 job. I had to consider that that had my main focus and my main priority, and I had to work around that. I'm a very positive mindset type of person anyway. I'm very driven. And I'm very wake up in the morning, have the best day ever, because if you have a good day, then you're going to have an even better day tomorrow. And I mean, I said to Ty on the Wednesday call that we were talking about having those bad days where you wake up and you're like, oh my God, I don't want to do this anymore. I'd say I've only ever had two of those bad days. And one of them was last week. And it honestly lasted for 5 minutes, but it was the longest 5 minutes of my life where I was like, I can't do this anymore. Oh my God, it's so tedious. And then like the next day, I got 6 or 7 calls booked in and I was like, this SMMA stuff is crazy. And then what was better was that I got 2 calls booked for next week. And then I was like, oh, I can't even cope with this stuff sometimes. But the best part about it is that it took time, and time, you need to look at time as your best friend rather than your enemy. And I look back at the last 5 months, I have learned so much about myself, about my skills. I had to look at all the positives. I've learned so much about what I'm capable of and what exactly it was that I have always wanted to do in this kind of space. And it was SMMA, and it was being able to have that freedom of signing whoever I want, talking to whoever I want. And if you don't think like that and you let those 5 minutes of negativity bring you down, you're gone. Like you just can't let that happen. So the thing for me was waking up every day. I'd say my other half is sick of me going, we're going to make this happen. This is going to be the best decision we ever made. And I'm like, if I didn't do that, if I didn't hype myself up every day, I think I would have given up about 2 or 3 months ago. And I'm so happy that I did it. And I'm so happy I still do it every single day, because that's what's gotten to me where I am.
Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. And like, for some people, they just mightn't have that maybe inner drive and that consistency to kind of push them through. So like, is there anything that you would say to someone like that, Rachel? Any tips when it comes to developing that positive mindset or just developing that kind of get up and go attitude? Anything that's helped you?
Okay, so I'm just a very positive person in general. A lot of people say to me, like, you're even on sales calls, people are like, you're so infectious. And I'm like, I have to be, because if I'm not, then you won't be about the service. And
Hell
that's just
yeah.
possibly who I am. So honestly, I can't say for anybody else. I'll just say that you can train yourself in a certain way to be like this. But I have been like this my whole life. But the one thing I'll say is, if you're paying to be in Adam's program, and the amount of people I send your link to, Adam, where I'm like, he's doing a promo, sign up now, and trust me, this will be the best €200 you saved, rather than him upping it next month. I'm like, it's a one-off payment. You're in it for the rest of your life. That content will always be there, and that community will always be there. Rather than going to college and getting a certificate of probably never hearing from those people ever again, this community is always here wherever you connect with them. And you have to think about all those little bonuses. And I know people say, God, I can't believe you get up at 6 o'clock in the morning or you work until 10 or 11 o'clock at night. But I loved it. I tried, like, you learn so much about yourself, your habits and your skills, that like it actually doesn't, it's not a chore. Like as soon as I get one reply on LinkedIn, even if it's someone saying no, that's a reply. I'm
Yep.
so happy somebody finally said they were interested or they weren't. And I'm like, thanks very much. At least I know I'm not thinking about you for next week. When should I follow up with you? It's like, so it's just about not thinking about how hard it is and thinking about the goal at the end of the tunnel. Like, I'm only halfway to my goal, or even a third. I'm not even fully there yet. It's about those little wins, and you have to look at them like that. So I mean, look, that's all I can say. I could keep rambling on about this stuff because I just wanted to be stuck in people's heads that you need to think open-minded about this and just give it your best shot.
It's so true though. It's so true because like, there's nothing special about me, about our student success manager in the program,
Yeah.
or half the people that win in this game. And it's just that exactly what you've talked about there. It's just that consistency, just enjoying the process, finding those little wins, you know, so even if you don't get a client, you got a call, that's a win, or you got a response, that's a win. It's that kind of mindset that pushes you through. And we see it time and time again. If someone comes into the program and they have great intentions, but they fall off after 2 weeks and they're demotivated, like, we can give you all the help in the world, but you need to just be able to get up. You know, we'll give you the support, we'll give you the accountability, we'll give you the push you need, but it's, you need to be able to just pick yourself up. And that is why this journey is a journey of personal development. You know, it's, yes, it's about business and you starting your business, but like you said, there's so much that you learn about yourself that will make you feel a little bit uncomfortable. It's going to push you outside of the comfort zone. It's going to put you in scenarios that, you know, quite frankly, you'll feel quite awkward in, but that is what has to happen. And you will genuinely learn more about yourself 6 months starting your own business or in our community than you probably will with like 2 or 3 years of your life in general, because you'll just push yourself so much, which again is good. Whether you want to do this for life or you do something else, I think you're going to get benefit from that. And just to kind of round it off then, Rachel, just final words of advice that you would have for someone, again, the person who is maybe not a complete beginner to marketing, but the person that has not started. They haven't joined a program. It doesn't have to be my program. They just haven't started their agency. What would you say to that person? Any little pieces of advice that you want to give them? And then let us know where people can find you. Drop your LinkedIn so that we can get people connecting with you. I'm sure there's going to be some questions people have for you after this.
Yeah. So, okay, what I would say is the 6 months I was watching Adam's TikTok, I look back in those 6 months and go, why didn't I just invest? Now, going all in on Adam's course and then going all in from being in a 9-to-5 are so different. So what I would say is, if you're seeing Adam's program and you're thinking, yeah, this is for me, I need some more time, you don't need any more time, because it's not like it's a 6-week program. You have it for the rest of your life. You can get at it tomorrow or next week or a year later. Just invest, and you're going to learn so much about yourself, meet some amazing people along the journey, whether you start that week or not. You have, the best part about this is you're giving away money, and then there's, I always say this, the what's the phrase? The currency you have the most control over is your time. So yes, you can give Adam your money, but at the end of the day, you have the control over your time and how you spend it in Adam's program. And the people you meet and the networking you get to make out of it, that's all yours then. You have full control of that. It's 100% your control of, you can log in and access it whenever you want, and you can start growing your business and networking with people. All I would say is, if you're seeing this video or you're seeing any of Adam's TikToks, just invest. Because at the end of the day, the last 5 months, if I didn't do those last 5 months, I wouldn't be in the position I am now. And I'd still be sitting around swiping through Adam's TikTok going, maybe I'll do it tomorrow, maybe I'll do it. Those 6 months, I don't know what was stopping me. And that's just a mindset thing. I just was like, I had to make sure I was in the right position. You will never be in the right position for this. You just need to go all in. And that's all I'd say.
Love it. Love it. Couldn't agree more as well. You're never going to be ready. I'm not ready for the next stage of my journey. You know, it's just part of this whole beautiful journey of life. So you just got to get stuck in now while you have the time and get it going. And so, yeah, Rachel, where can people find you? Drop some, we'll obviously put it in the description, but if you want to just call it out as well, and we'll make sure people can connect with you.
Yeah, so it's on LinkedIn. It's just Rachel McNamara. You'll see the name there at the bottom of the video. But if you look up Rafiki and Fella, that's what you'll find my agency is called. We can chat about that name another time. But look, if you find me on LinkedIn, that's the best place to go. I have Instagram too, but LinkedIn is where I'm at, and that's where I have conversations and network with people.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, everyone who's watching it, if you're still watching it, which you clearly are at this stage, go and connect with Rachel, because she puts out content on there like every week, like multiple posts as well. And it's good content. So even if, you know, you just want to ask her some questions, you can do that, but you can also follow her content, which I personally think is really good. There's some humor, there's some value, there's some tips, everything that you want to see from someone on LinkedIn. So go ahead and do that. Rachel, thank you so much for hopping on. And for anyone watching it, hope you got some value. If you did, drop a like, definitely leave a comment below to let us know. Connect with Rachel, and we'll see you in the next video.